So I was out and about for a walk today, and I stumbled upon the most horrifying sight I've ever saw. It's actually a normal sight, a tent in the woods. And it's not so much the tent itself, it's who was inside. And so buckle up for a quick story, and I'll show you exactly how people are living. So I saw this tent, and I saw a couple of young people out in front. And I'm a friendly guy, so I go up and speak to them. Come to find out, they're university students here in Toronto. Full-time students who, cannot afford an apartment anymore. They were renting together because there's 4 of them, and they were all sharing a room. Going to school, all of them full-time, and, working to have an apartment and, get their education. 4 in one room for $1,200 a month, and working part-time, it just does not cover that. Not that in food. So the 4 of them could not afford their individual rents of $1,200 a month to share a room with 3 other people. Now, if you're saying anything but this is a crisis, you're wrong. This is a crisis. People who need the stability more than anybody, students, they need to get their education, who don't need to be living in a tent, can't afford rent, can't afford going into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to go to school and an apartment and get their education. Rent is crazy, man. So I'm going to show you right now how they're living with complete permission. I've talked to them. They're okay with me filming their site, but I'm not going to show them because, again, they're students and they need some privacy. They don't need their faces and stuff exposed. But let's go see how students are being forced to live. And now I know that they're not the only ones. They're not the only ones, even in the area. They're the ones that are very apparent that I found, and they've told me a few other camps like them not too far from here, and I'm gonna go speak to them, hopefully get an interview. But yeah, let's go. Imagine yourself being a university student and having to trek through trails and mud every single day just to get back home, just to find your place to sleep. That is sad, man. Heck, I have to do some of this every day myself, but people, they're kids, just out here trying to just start their lives. And what a good start, living in a tent in the woods, because you can't afford to share a room with 4 other people. Anyways, we're almost there, so I'm not going to direct straight to their camp, but when we get there, I'll show you. Now, the tent isn't a huge one, and there's 4 people staying in here. What I really appreciate about them is how clean they are. There's no garbage around. These are just good kids who are stuck, and they've done it right. They found a spot that's a little bit out of the way. I only found them by accident, and I spoke to them. They are really good kids. But I would tell you, I wouldn't want, my kids going to school and having to live like this. They even have internet access. They do their studying here. They got more stuff in there, but I'm not going to show you the inside because that's not cool. But they got internet, they've got solar panels, and at least they're making it work. Just the whole situation is really sad. Those are our youths. Those are our young Canadians. Oh, they're trying to do the right thing and go to school. But their families can't handle the financial burden, so they're living in a tent. They're full-time school, working part-time, and can't even afford to live in a room with 3 other people. I got a little bit of the story out of them. One of them is usually at camp. There was someone in there while I was going around filming. They've got their setup okay. They even have power in there. They have a couple solar panels that they're storing on the inside, and they're being safe because there's 4 of them staying in that, little tiny area. And they kind of have to because it gets dangerous down here. You're robbed all the time. You lose a lot of your stuff. But it's sad, These are our future leaders of this country, of Canada. Our future engineers and doctors and lawyers. And they're living in a tent in the woods because rent. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. I'm kind of upset now. I'm glad I found them, but it just sad. So if you want, give me a subscribe and like the video. That'd be really cool. But yeah, you guys have a good day.